Good morning. It's the 18th of November 2016. Whose move is it? Now, what I want to say first, other than something else first I want to say, is here's a book, okay? Now, I'm quite reasonable at chess, as I've already highlighted. I'm also quite bad at it too. I've got weaknesses and I've got strengths. But anyway, here's a book that brings me back to the mattresses, so to speak, or takes me back to the manual and reteaches me things that I find I actually miss when I'm looking for things in a difficult mode, a difficult fashion. I find the difficult moves, or the brilliant, or the very good moves, or the good moves, or the not so bad moves, and all that sort of thing. But sometimes I miss the simple queen checks to c5 in the king's gambit, and I lose my bishop. These are my weaknesses, I'm telling you now. That these are my weaknesses, and I'm going to talk about why am I doing this soon. And I'm going to rustle a few bits of paper and all that. You might hear that, and you might even hear my phone go ringing. Someone might ring me, because occasionally, once in a year, I get a phone call. But anyway, here's a chess book that I consider quite good, because it brings me back to the one of the reasons I like coaching is because it brings me back to the basics, because I can find the intelligent, or I can find the real hard moves to find that some people go, how the heck did you think of that move? But I can also miss the real obvious moves. And that is even relevant for me in life, which chess is related to, because a lot of things in chess relate back to life. So that brings me to the game Sudoku, which I quite like. Now, anyone who plays Sudoku, which I thought the first time I came across Sudoku, is that all you have to do is put the numbers in the squares and that's it. What's the big issue with that? You just got to put the numbers 1 to 9 in the boxes. And then I found out it's a wee bit different. And what I like about Sudoku is that there's usually only one way to complete the puzzle. And when I first started, I had to work out some sort of system, which I have worked out a system that friends of mine say, you're very fast at it. And I go, well, you're good too, aren't you? You're a doctor or whatever you are. And they say to me, no, you are very fast at it. And frankly put, I have been taking my brain for granted for a long time. And I'm not saying I'm the best brain in New Zealand chess, because far from it. I consider myself not the best chess player, and my results prove same. But sometimes I happen to get a good winning chess position, and sometimes I lose it. Now, some people give up chess because they don't like the way some players the way that they destroy their position, because like they built up a beautiful game, and one of my best friends, and I've got lots of best friends because I haven't got any favourites, but one of my best friends gave up chess. He still plays it online. He gave up chess because he would get a beautiful position, build it up, and be something like 35 moves into the game, and then he would blunder, and he just said, and so it's a bit like a picture. A chess game is like a picture that you build a picture up, and then you make it into a beautiful picture, and sometimes you play like whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to speak to you today a bit, and this is going to be my informative one, and I'm going to head it up as such. So if you don't like to hear me talking, that's cool, no problem. But that's who I am, and and that's part of my nature. But what I'm saying about Sudoku, I want to get, see, I'm tangential. What I'm saying about Sudoku is that I've got an obvious placement of one number in the box, and I miss it completely. Now, that perplexes my mind, because I sit there and go, how the heck did I not notice that over the last half hour of perusing this position in Sudoku? So that can happen for me in chess too, where I can just take a pawn with my bishop, and then my opponent goes queen check and wins my bishop for free. And that happens in two particular openings, but I probably don't want to disclose that for obvious reasons, because people might go for just playing that tactic on me that I seem to fall for a lot of times. And I can't understand it, but it's my nemesis in chess. And there are other nemesis which are opponents, but myself, I'm probably my biggest opponent in chess. Now, I consider that we're looking at pawns obviously here, and the back rank for me, the A1 to H1, is empty, but the rest are filled with pawns. Now, they aren't the only piece on the chessboard, or they're not actually called a piece, but I consider them a piece because they're very, very important. And I do love playing with them, apparently, because people say to me, keep pushing those pawns, David Wegener. And these are much stronger chess players than I am from New Zealand, and they're saying that sort of accolade or tribute to me, which I consider a great honour to receive. I've also been called a legend by one particular player in New Zealand, and also an ambassador of chess from another player in New Zealand. So I'm wanting to live up to that. But why free? I consider that this is my one on the chessboard. This is my finest move ever. I've never ever played such a brilliant move as getting on YouTube and having people actually wanting to listen to what I've got to say. But why free? That's because I want to give back to chess what it gives to me. And frankly put, I get more out of this than anyone else gets from receiving it. I actually get lots and lots of this because it builds up my self-esteem. And I have 3 sons who I love all equally the same, and I do not favour either one of them. And one is special needs, but I'm not going to drop their names because I want to protect them. But one is special needs, and I would never ever in a billion years, if that's possible at all, change them. But anyway, here's the pawns. And here's the pawns, and I have been thinking about, should I do this? And that is quickly responded with a definitely no. I am not going to stop doing this. And there's a text there, or whatever it is. It might be something from the internet. But anyway, so here is the pawns which are considered or called the soul of chess. Now, I don't in chess have a favourite piece or whatever, but I do favour them for different reasons, and this is the soul of chess. So I'm gonna, the next message, because my phone only does 10-minute videos, is going to be about pawns. Okay, so that's a wee bit of my introduction, because frankly put, I don't feel very good about myself, but doing what I'm doing here uplifts my whole soul.